Here's a grid loading on my screen over a metro area, one pin for about every couple kind of blocks. And this remodeling company sits about top 3 in a very, very small zone. Everywhere else, the pins go basically just yellow, red, and then out here on the very outskirts, you actually start to see 20s. Now, the owner would tell you that he ranks totally fine because he searched his own company name from his desk this morning, and there he was, right? He's first, he's got 5-star reviews and such, and proves basically nothing to Google. Because what actually happens is the business needs to be searched based on proximity, right? A few hundred yards away, and sure, he shows up fine. But there are 2 reasons a profile like this collapses. And the fix, for one, almost has absolutely nothing to do with the fix for the other. This is not a client. And I actually just picked this profile at random, and I'm going to dive into it for you guys right now. If you are a remodeling company around $3.5 million a year, this video is for you, okay? Homeowners are usually searching for a kitchen remodel near me, and they're not trying to actually type in your business name. They see about the top 3 map pack results and then a stack of reviews, and basically whoever owns those top few spots within that neighborhood that they're actually searching for, those guys get the clicks. And one strong zone and one dead zone everyone else means that you're just basically carrying trucks, crews, and overhead across a radius where you're basically invisible to. As you can see here, these guys aren't found anywhere else aside from their main location. A grid scan runs the same keyword search from many simulated points laid out across your entire service area. Each one of these pins is one search from one spot, and the number in the pin is where you appeared there. 1 obviously means the top of the pack. About these 4s start to mean that you're kind of below the fold, and X basically means that you are completely gone, right? Google does not serve one ranking per city, and it actually serves a different result on every block based on where the searcher is standing. So if you're sitting in your office and you search, for, kitchen remodel services near me, it's not really a measurement. It's just one pin where you're basically guaranteed to rank where your physical address is already located at. 2 settings actually decide whether this ranking scan is useful to you. So 1 being radius. Cover the area you actually want to sell to and not the one that you just daydream about. For a remodeler that size, at 15 to 20 mile box, you're not really sending a crew 90 minutes each way for a bathroom. Second is keywords. You do not want to scan generic keywords like contractor, for example, okay? You want to scan the jobs you actually sell to. Kitchen remodeling services near me is good. Bathroom remodel, home remodeling, whole home renovation. All these keywords show you where the profile is actually needs to be ranking for the exact target keywords and audience that you want to be ranking for. These actually tell the accurate ranking to what your business could be doing for those search terms in the important areas where you guys need to be ranking and garnering these leads. Next up is reading the pins. Obviously, you start in the center, right? The office pins are usually 1s, 2s, and that's expected because you guys know that local SEO is a proximity-based algorithm. But as soon as we move out, the north sides are closer to 4s and 5s, and they drop off to 6s pretty quick. Down here you can see some 4s and 5s, and obviously at the corners these are Xs. So the honest sentence is this profile appears in a small bubble on kitchen remodel, and then it basically just drops off beyond that. So now we're going to break into relevance and proximity, okay? This is the entire diagnosis here. Mainly, it's just a proximity problem, right? We got a strong center and then a clean, clear, very obvious decay outwards, right? So Google knows what you do. It just ranks businesses closer to the searcher ahead of you, right? Most of this comes down to a relevance problem. Weak pins everywhere, including your own block. Google's not confident that you sell that service in these surrounding areas, right? It just thinks that you actually serve these services right where you're located. The relevance fix lives in the profile and the site, okay? Primary category set to the service you actually want, services listed and populated within the GBP, and then descriptive language, not only on your Google business profile, but also your website that shows homeowners that you actually service these previous areas or these current areas from mainly previous jobs, previous photos from clients, previous reviews, highlighting these other areas around where you're not exactly ranking right now. And the proximity fix is even slower, okay? You do not need to fix the distance with a better description, okay? This is only going to get you so far. You fix it with real presence, reviews that really name the location and the town with real project details, and sometimes even a second location with staff and signage to target a new demographic, which is more of a black hat tip, which we'll get into later. Anyone selling a shortcut around proximity is usually selling you a suspension risk, though, and it lands your profile in huge, huge trouble. So you got to be careful there, but you can get multiple profiles live and start expanding into these areas if you know what you're doing, okay? Now, there are going to be a few edge cases, okay? 3 things that could mislead you here along these lines, and you need to watch out for them, okay? If your Google business profile is set to a service area, I'm not joking, you're not going to rank for anything, okay? Without local proximity and an obvious physical address tied to your profile, you're just dead in the water. 2, results move on their own. So when you scan at a similar times and you read the shape and not one pin, scans can deviate up to about 5% every single time. So if you're scanning early in the morning versus late in the afternoon, expect a little bit of deviation. SEO is more of an art than a science. And 3, if a company name actually contains the exact keyword, which we talked about in the previous video, you can't exactly copy this strategy. This is more of a black hat play for local SEO, and it works incredibly well if you do it well with DBAs, which we went into in depth in that previous video. You can't exactly trust the rankings of these because it's a trick and you can use it to rank, but they're more so artificial rankings, which is very interesting. This is the diagnostic that we run before touching a profile, because guessing at fixes is exactly how most business owners burn their entire lead gen down. If you want to begin growing your online ranking radius, the link is below for a walkthrough request. Give us your service area and 3 to 4 jobs you want more of, and we run the exact same scan and read it back to you pin by pin. No proposals, no rebuild catch. Links in the description.